Hey there, it's spring and we've had a lot of babies hatching out and going out to new homes and new owners asking how to care for them and what to feed them. And I thought I would just give some information here. You're going to want to go and find a feed store and pick up some chicken or some chick food. Chicks will stay on foods until they're laying and then they switch over to a layer food. So this is something you'll use for quite some time. The feed stores have a couple different options in chick starter foods, which is medicated or non-medicated. There is a lot here that I'm not going to go into in this video, but basically the medicated feeds is for something called coccidiosis, which is something, it's a fatal type of disease that affects babies and chickens. And the medicated feeds are not strong enough to prevent an outbreak. It's just this low grade preventative measure. And it has an ingredient called amiprolium. It's not an antibiotic. It's a thiamine blocker, which is what the parasite needs to multiply in the gut of a bird. And thiamine is something that is good for birds otherwise. So we don't like to feed our babies a constant low grade medication to keep them healthy. We want to use vitamins and nutrients as best as we can. And it really it builds a better bird in the long run with natural immunities. So when you go to the feed store, you can check out the different options and make the decision for yourself. The only other option in feeds is finding a natural feed store that sells a non-GMO type of food, and more and more people are preferring that option. And as a chicken breeder, I can see it makes a huge difference in the health of a bird. So the non-GMO foods have things like whole grains, legumes, and seeds in them. So I have both of your regular feed store option and then the specialty feed store option here. There's a store right down the road that makes this non-GMO natural food. You can see it's got like the green peas in it and the whole grains. A lot of the stuff is in your kitchen and you're feeding your family. It's great. This is what most all of the major feed stores are selling in different brands. It all pretty much looks the same. It's got the vitamins and stuff mixed in. It's small enough for the babies to get down, both options, but if you have a little bit extra in your budget, this stuff is really worth it for the babies. And this stuff will do just as good, and you just need to buy some extras if you see something happening with your birds. So those are the feed options. Then we have what we feed them in. When you go to the feed stores, the feeder here on the left is what they make available for babies. Sometimes they'll have a long trough, but it has the holes in it the same. And so you end up just buying them because that's the option. But when you put them on shavings, they naturally start to throw their shavings around and hunt and peck for things as chickens do. And they end up filling these feeders with shavings. It buries the food and you have no way to separate it out. So you just waste a ton of food with these. These are great to use though in the first couple days because they aren't throwing shavings yet. They aren't going to the bathroom a lot, and they're sleeping a lot. And so you can get away with using these for a good bit. Anyway, what I have figured out is this option is actually for rabbits in the feed stores here in town. You can attach it to the side of a brooder, and because of these little hooks on the side, you can bend these hooks. So if it's like a wood wall in your chicken coop, we've bent it around where they hang on nails. Or if you have a brooder we use plastic brooders, totes. And so I'll just make holes in the side of totes and raise this up higher and higher as the chickens get taller and taller. And the wastage on these is like nothing compared to those. So those are our feeding options. And then we have the vitamin and the nutrient options here. And so the Chick Boost is what you see mostly in the feed stores. This is a first line of defense that they provide. You add it to their water. It's a probiotic, vitamin, mineral, and electrolytes. It's kind of a low grade product, but it is good. It does help them. But if you have any big deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies in your chicks, then you're going to want these two products. And I'll just say vitamin deficiencies can happen when you move the chicks, when you stress them out, if their moms didn't get enough when they were building the egg. Even a chicken that has everything provided for it can be on the lower end of the pecking order and not get what she needs to build that chick right. And so vitamin deficiencies can happen for a lot of reasons, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad owner. It just happens, and so you just be prepared for when it does. The first one, you can find this at the feed stores. It's cheaper to get it online, but it is here in town. It's poultry Nutri-Drench, and I'll just give you a shot of what is in it. So what you do is you mix this with their water, and you're going to want to mix it to the consistency of like a dark tea. This is a concentrated bottle, so you'll just pour a little bit in. It goes a long way, and it really does help. This is one that I've really noticed helping the babies. But more than the Nutri-Drench has everything you need, but there was a couple things that was missing, and I can't remember what it was now, but some of the folks on the chicken forums recommended nutritional yeast, and we already use it in our family. It's really good on popcorn and things like that. And so I grabbed it some time back for a chick that had a deficiency, and it just was amazing. It just brought this little chick back from the dead practically. It did so good after adding this to the food. So what it has in it is it's a great source of B complex vitamins. It has the thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folates, and then more up there on the top. And you don't have to know much about vitamins when you see a product working amazingly in a chick. These are the two products. And so I give them the poultry drench right from the start, and I give the nutritional yeast right from the start now too. But as they get older, if you notice something is going on with your chicken, anything, if they've gotten hurt, if they've been attacked by predators, anything, they always need support in vitamins if they're recovering from some kind of stress. So these two products I recommend keeping on hand throughout a chicken's life. I think that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see about posting some feed store options in the comments. Happy spring.